Welcome. Is Grant Cameron here? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Today, we're about to tell another UFO story, and if you understand the UFO story, it's the most important story ever told. I'm here, I'm ready. I've got my McDonald's coffee. And I've got, there you go, and you got water. And I've got my microphone. Mika, you need to know about this. You have to get a fancy mic like this, even if you don't know what you're doing. It makes you look like you know what you're doing.
Good job.
That's
what it matters. You have to make it look like you know how to use it.
There you go. You got it down. My guests today are from Dover, England. I was just there. I was at the Manchester conference, and it was a big thing. And it had so many people. It had almost more people than Donald Trump's inauguration there. And I met a young fellow here and his family. It's Mika Pearson and his father, Jimmy, and mother, Sarah. And they asked for an interview with Richard and I, and I'm very happy to help out because I've been involved with a couple of young kids. If you know the researcher John Greenwald, who runs the massive Black Vault, has 2 million files in there. I dealt with him when he was 14 years old. He came to me about FOIAs and this sort of thing. And there's a woman, a young girl who I met at a conference in Florida, who I think was 9, who was doing research. She didn't have a show like Mika has, but she was doing research. I'm not sure whether she continued on. I'll have to check on that. But that might be somebody you might want to interview because she's still only probably, that was 2013. So she's probably now 15 years old. And she was busy there. So I'm always happy to help out young researchers. And so welcome, Mika and Jimmy and Sarah to my little broadcast here. And how are things today in the United Kingdom?
Sure. Well, as the UK is, we've had almost all the seasons in one day here.
Oh, wow. Is it raining there? It was raining there when I was there quite a bit. But
yeah, we've had rain, we've had hail, we've now got sunshine.
Perfect sunshine.
Wow.
Yeah, we have every fan going in the lounge right now to try and cool it down a little bit. So it's gone from one extreme to another within the space of like maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me start with Jimmy and Sarah. Can you tell me how this all started? I mean, how does, usually you would think that you'd want your kid to play for the Manchester football team, or here in Canada would be, you try to get your kid to play hockey and going to make millions of dollars. Why UFOs? How did this all start?
Well, we've always had an interest in the unusual. We're not exactly normal ourselves. So it's always been a topic that we've always looked into, and it's something that we've never shone away with Mika either. He's always been there. If he wants to watch something, we allow him, as long as it's nothing obviously too gruesome or not age appropriate. But he took on quite a liking to Area 51 at a very early age.
Okay.
And by the age of 7, he was listening to podcasts with us, such as Jimmy Church, Coast to Coast, and he decided one morning that at 4 o'clock he's getting up and he's phoning Jimmy.
Wow.
And he did.
Good.
And Jimmy thought he was amazing and had a good old chat with him, and he phoned in a couple of times, and they were always aware of us. We were always quite prominent on the Twitter and Facebook scene. Jim started the podcast first on his own. It was just an audio. And it was actually Jimmy that made a comment while Mika was speaking to him one day, saying, wouldn't it be fun if you and your dad started one? And they did.
Wow.
And then not long after, I joined to do the tech side of it. And as they say, the rest is history. It ended up being a family show, and that's the way we've continued.
Wow. That's a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
So, Mika, what do you do in school today?
I'm going to school because I'm now on term.
Yes.
Oh, you're off. I thought maybe you were. Yeah, that's right. What do your school mates think? Do they follow your show? Do they follow your YouTube channel?
They do. And some of them think I'm complete crazy, but that's
It
their
works.
opinion.
What grade are you going into?
Year 6.
Into 6. Wow, I can't even remember what I was doing in
That's
grade.
the last year of primary.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, that just amazes me. It's, I mean, maybe your parents can describe the same thing. I mean, when we were at that age, I mean, we didn't do anything near this kind of stuff. I mean, we were just, I can't even remember what I was doing in grade 6, except to play a little bit of chess in my spare time. But other than that, I don't remember what happened in grade 6. I was like, unbelievable.
I think I was too busy collecting sort of like soccer cards and garbage pail kids and things
Yeah.
like that. I wasn't
playing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, doing what kids done back in the 80s, riding BMXs and making dens and stuff like that.
Yeah, running around and causing trouble and, just.
No, absolutely not. No. So, Mum, if you're watching, I wasn't out causing trouble, okay?
Wow. So in a lot of podcasts, you'll hear Jimmy does it in his show. I've done it a few times. So in a lot of podcasters start their show with UFO news. So give me a piece of news, maybe from Britain or from around the world with UFOs that we can maybe start the show with. What's really new? Are you going to storm Area 51? Have you seen that whole story about them going to storm the place?
It's me.
Shoot.
Yes, I have seen that. The date will be the 20th of September.
You know all about it.
Now, they're not storming. Now, you think they'll go straight for the entrance. They're not going for the entrance. There's a mountain next to it.
Okay.
They're going to go up on the mountain first, and then what I think is they're going to come down the mountain and then go in. But, as we all know, the sign says, caution will be shot at any time. So, if you look at the entrance and you look up, there would be a little slope and you'll see a vehicle there. Probably people think, he's inside. Well, instead, he's actually on the back trunk and he's got a sniper ready to shoot. And there also is a turret. So, yeah.
It's scary. I know. I was there. I was at the gate. And Richard Doty told me I was at the wrong gate. I was at the Tonopah gate. They send you, if you go to Rachel, they'll send you this gate. But Richard Doty told me it's the wrong gate. It goes into Tonopah where they test the jet fighters. It's a scary place. I was there. I mean, it even says don't take photographs. And my assistant Desta was there, and she's going to take a photograph. I said, no, don't. And I thought they were going to shoot me. It was a pretty scary place. Do you think maybe you'll get there one day?
Well, if I do, I definitely think I will not be taking any photographs, not crossing the line, only looking with my eyes. Now, this doesn't make also sense. There's rabbits out there. They are allowed to cross the line without getting shot. So if they're animals and they cross the line, why can't we? Like that makes. Can you get the point of it, guys?
Yeah, animals, exactly. Where does it say on the sign, no animals?
Yeah, so why does animals get free passes to go to Area 51, to go see those beautiful little aliens of ours, and then we can't even go and see them?
Do you genuinely think anyone will actually turn up and do it?
What?
The storm Area 51. Do you think it's...
Well, unless there's a lot of them, then they come down the mountain. Now, probably that's what's going to happen. They're going to charge, someone gets shot, and they're going to go, ah! And they're going to start running away.
Like Monty Python's, run away!
Yeah. Run, retreat! Someone's been shot, someone's down! Medic! We need a medic over here!
It's interesting times when you kind of when this is all about at the moment, Grant, because like I know Sputnik were reporting that the site had been taken down and then it's now back up. So yeah, I don't know whether or not there's already a bit of disinfo or other bits and pieces going on. I mean, if not, I mean, Facebook have got a great deal of information on many users anyway. So
yeah, wow. That's the one big story, and the other big story that you probably faced as a researcher, as a somebody who's into UFOs. They always ask me the question. I'm going to ask you: when is disclosure? When are they going to disclose?
Who's this to?
This is to you.
No,
This is
To you. You're the expert here.
Remember, you asked Grant this, so now he's asking you.
Do you know what? Me and Mum, we're just going to go and we're just going to leave you with Grant. Is that all right?
Disclosure. Can someone remind me what it is again?
Disclosure, the outing.
When are they going to tell us what's going on?
I believe it's going to somewhere come out at 2030, 2035.
Well, you'll be pretty old by then.
Huh?
You'll be pretty old by then.
Well, at least I'll have a beard, so I wouldn't mind about that, to be honest.
There you go. I could be gone by then.
I think that'll happen at that time because at the moment 3 is my lucky number, so I'm going with 2030.
Wow. Let me ask the family, the whole family a question. Has anybody had a sighting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's had a sighting. So tell me what's the story on the sighting? What was it? A good one?
Well, the main one we've had is a joint family.
Yeah.
Was actually in Manchester.
No, it was just after we left Manchester.
Just after.
I don't know if you followed any of the things that we've done afterwards.
Oh, yes.
But we were with Dex from Australia.
Okay.
And then we went down to Stonehenge on the Sunday after awakening.
Okay.
We visited there. No, sorry. The Monday we went to Stonehenge, and the Monday night we met up with Tracy Ash. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Tracy.
No.
She runs the Ancient Intelligent Mystery School.
Okay.
Deals with ascension and consciousness, and anyway, so Tracy's a good friend of ours, and we all met up at Avebury Stone Circle on the Monday evening, and we went to a newly created crop circle. We got there probably.
It's about 8 o'clock, wasn't it? 8, half 8. We got there.
But yeah.
And by the time we all set up, it was nightfall.
Yeah. So we're all in. We're all sort of getting comfortable within the crop circle, getting all the tech and everything ready, and kind of ready. Come on! Green lasers going up into the sky, and then shortly after, something flew over the top of us, and there was 12 of us there. 12 of us saw it
in a 12-pointed star.
In a 12-pointed star crop circle.
Wow.
We had Tracy's daughter had a very, very high spec camera.
Yeah.
UFO Gandalf, he had a very, very good camera as well, Dexter. We had like night vision binoculars, and as we were looking at it, it was basically like a ball with a red light around the outside, and it seemed to be following a trajectory slot, and then it seemed to move. And I said to everyone, "That's moved." And there was one of the pictures that was taken from Tracy Ash's daughter, and you can actually see within the picture, within the frame, it's actually kind of zigzagged within. So you've got the red light, and it is a red light, you know, and satellite or anything else. I mean, it wouldn't have been. I don't think it would have appeared red.
Wow. What did you think about that, Mika? Were you pretty impressed?
Well, these guys saw it as red. Well, really, I didn't. I saw it as white.
Okay.
And it was very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice and bright. I could see it from actually quite far away, which was, it was gone in the distance, wasn't it? It went like that way.
Yeah.
Before it powered up.
It powered up and then it disappeared.
It was very cool.
And the first thing I was just like is, wow. I cannot say anything else but wow.
But that was your first sighting, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
That was your first one.
Yeah.
Whereas Sarah and I, excuse me. See, one of the things that we didn't say from the outset is, as a family, one of the main things about the whole space UFO phenomena for us, come from family evenings that we always used to have out in the garden.
Okay.
We always have telescopes, be trying to look at different stars, different planets and things like that. And it's something we've always done with you very, very, very young. I mean, also going out for sort of like the Perseid meteor shower in August. We'd always go out, stay there in sort of like the lawn chairs all night, just watching, you know, the meteors coming down. And and we'd gone out this one night, and Venus, was it about 2 years ago?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
And Venus was really, really prominent. So Sarah had just got a new telescope. So we'd gone outside, we'd set it all up, and everything was all fine. Was kind of looking at Venus from this. And Mika went up to bed early.
I was, that very night, there was a couple of nights ago where I was really tired, then I was tired. So then basically I had some really long nights. Mm-hmm. So then I was just like, right, I'm done for the night.
So Mika went up. Sarah and I went back out to go and take apart this massive telescope in the dark, as you do. And we started shipping everything back into the house. And I've gone back out because we had a chimney. So I wanted to go and make sure that it was extinguished properly. And as I went to go and leave the house to go out, I saw something else just going over the top of our house in kind of this direction from where we are. So we would have been going from, I don't know, probably southwest to northeast. That'd be correct. Yeah, southwest to northeast kind of direction. And with that, I shouted to Sarah. I was like, "You've got to come out and see this."
Yeah, beautiful light going over the top of us. Not in the same speed as a satellite would. It was definitely a lot faster than that. Mm-hmm. So that was a sighting that we'd seen together just out in the garden, and that's that was the first one. And you've had one a couple on the way to work. Yeah,
couple early mornings on the way to work. Again, real kind of nothingness into kind of power up, into dimming again to power up. One of them I managed to get on my cell phone and show Sarah. Another one I actually recorded like from my cell phone and sent the video to you as well. Again, it was coming across the sky. I'd watched it for about 10 minutes and it had been moving really, really slowly. And then I managed to get my cell phone on it, and then we got a power up from that as well. Yeah. So, yeah.
A few sightings.
Wow.
And that's it. And the thing is, everyone knows satellites don't power up.
No. Yeah, exactly.
That's
question for Mika. As you move along in your career here doing investigation, you're going to become more and more well-known. I have 17,000 subscribers. Lots of people are going to be seeing this interview. So if you suddenly what do you think about conspiracy? A lot of UFO people are in a conspiracy. Do you think that maybe the government is going to watch you, or do you think they're watching you now? And if you get too popular, they're going to come and shut you down?
I can answer that question. Well, if you can you repeat that question again?
Conspiracies.
Yeah.
Do you think they're looking into you, like governments and things like that?
Actually, yes, I do. I think they will, because seems this is all out in YouTube. If you've been looking recently, there's been a lot of channels been taken down that are UFO related, and probably people are thinking, oh, maybe it's just a hacker, but maybe, what are we thinking? It's maybe the government that is doing it. So we've got to be careful of what we're doing, putting stuff out, or your channel will be taken down. I've watched a couple of videos of it, and it is not cool. And governments will watch you, because that's how they know to take your channel down. They have to watch your channel, because basically that counts as government information, I believe. Yeah. It is government information for UFOs. But government, they know what they're doing, but taking people's channels down, Really? Maybe they can like take down that video instead of taking the whole channel down. Come on, government. Seriously.
What's your message for the government? What would you like to tell them? Because they're probably, if they're watching us here, we got a chance to give them a message. What message would you give them?
Government, if you're watching this now, stop taking channels down or else.
Right on. Okay, the other big question that I get asked about the phenomena, good and evil aliens. Do you think there's good aliens and bad aliens? And start with that question. Are there good and bad guys out there, or are they just trying to give us a message? What do you think is going on?
Well, there definitely is bad and good. And the message they're probably giving to us is stop shooting our stuff. Because I tell many people this. I even told this to Linda. They're starting to get mad at us because we are damaging their property. So, because we are damaging their property, that means what they're doing is probably the bad aliens. They're going, right, suit up. So, they're suiting up. Then they come down and they're damaging our stuff. So, eventually, it's going to get too much and there's going to be a war.
Right
with
on.
the bad aliens and us. But I said to Linda, maybe, just maybe, the good aliens will help us. Because bad aliens obviously mean they don't like us, they can battle against us. But the good aliens, you see now, they don't want to attack us. What they could do is they could maybe help us, and we don't know who could win.
Fantastic answer. Another question. If you're going to do it, you're going to do interviews. What if you were actually, instead of talking to me, you're talking to an alien? Give me a couple of questions that if you had a chance to interview an alien, what would you ask them?
What kind of system are you from? So it's kind of like a solar system, kind of like that. Have you ever experienced a type of galaxy wave, something like that? What kind of planet do you come from? That would be the main question I would ask anything, and an alien. What planet do you come from? What is your name? And I believe also you can ask this question as well. How old are you? How old are you? Now, I remember, I never used to remember saying how old are they? So now I've researched and I'm able to know they have an age which I never knew in a lifetime. We can ask that now.
Beautiful. How do you think they get here? What do you think? Do you think they have some sort of special propulsion, or do you study portals and stuff like that where stuff is popping in and out of our physical universe?
No, I haven't heard of the portals just yet.
Like bending space-time.
No, I've never heard of that.
No?
I'll have to research that.
We're more kind of nuts and bolts with at this juncture.
Yeah. But they get here from somewhere. Somehow they're getting in here.
Maybe they have some sort of hyperspace, like you said, maybe through kind of these. Some of these stars can also be portals. They might look like planets, and some apps say that they're stars or suns and all of that. Whereas some of your apps, they never tell the truth.
Yeah.
You could pay probably £100 for an app, right?
Yeah.
And it says it will tell you anything, but it will never tell you where a portal is. You could search for probably a week, something like that. a month trying to find a portal that isn't going to tell you nothing.
Yeah.
You're going to have to see it come out.
Do you think, like, the power,
Yeah.
maybe, I mean, like the portal things, I know, obviously, I think about stuff like that, and I know you're very big on the portals, etc. Because obviously we spoke about the Zendra phenomena when we was in Manchester.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe, like, the power from maybe certain sort of like planets or certain stars and things like that could be used as maybe like a fuel?
Now that was
like
what I was going on about.
Drive,
Yeah.
or like a pulse drive,
That
or
was
something like
just
that.
what I was going to get on with. I believe so, because now, like, planets are starting to kind of lose their colour a bit. If you're looking at, like, pictures, they used to be really bright, but now they're starting to get quite dull.
Somehow.
Yeah. So, like, for example,
Planets die.
yeah.
Yeah.
For
you've got stars and that.
yeah. For example, and I'm only saying example, Jupiter. That's actually gone quite dull, and most UFOs are quite near to Jupiter.
UFOs are near Jupiter.
No. When they come out of that hyperspace thingy-mabobby.
Oh, you think that's where they come from? There's sort of like something around Jupiter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think that how they appear, isn't it weird how they're always near a star when they appear?
Yeah.
You know, like, they could be anywhere in the, like, this universe, but they choose our planet. But also, you could have chose so many stars. Like, there's one there, one there, one there.
Yeah.
But instead, you choose to be next to Jupiter. Why do you think that? Isn't Jupiter the one with the ring around it?
No, you're thinking of Saturn.
That's it. And
Yeah.
also Saturn. They appear around here. And that's weird because also some of them are near Saturn and they're going around it.
Yeah.
Now that is the thing. Around it.
That's where that documentary that we watched came from. It was along the lines of the ringmakers of Saturn, and they were saying about that there was a certain amount of activity catalogued around Saturn, which was having quite an interest at that time with regards to like bits and pieces being seen, anomalies, etc.
Yeah.
People think that maybe aliens come from Mars. Well, if you do your research, you might actually learn where they come from. Instead of maybe like Mars, Saturn, all of that, they don't come from the solar system. People, think, please. They don't come from this solar system. They might, some of them might. Trust me, sorry, aliens, but some aren't. Most of them are not from this system. Some can be from Mars. People think aliens are on the moon. I can answer that question. It depends what kind of alien it is.
Okay.
There is how many? 57 types of Cetas? Oh. Yeah. They don't like being called aliens, so we have to call them Cetas in his house.
From Zeta Reticuli.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's probably 57 Zetas.
57 species, I think.
That's
was the last.
But if
thing,
you
wasn't it?
now think about it, how long ago was that recorded?
It was only being spoken about.
Earlier this year.
Yeah, earlier this year when we spoke with Sue and Otto.
No,
That comes from Clifford Stone. Do you like to interview Clifford Stone? Do you know who he is?
I know who Clifford is. You
No.
don't. You don't.
No, he's not aware of
I'll help
it.
set it up. I know Clifford Stone. Clifford Stone came up with the 57 alien thing. He's
There you go.
been at a lot of crash sites. Would you like to interview a guy like that who's actually been at a crash site?
that's me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to help you out. Let's go as we close down here. Let's go to your future. Let's a whole family question. What do we got planned here? We got a book, or what are we planning to do here? Just keep doing interviews until something else pops up, or?
Well, we've recently done a beginner's guide for newcomers and the youngsters coming into the community.
Wow.
So we've done a range of subjects. It's also helped Mika out as well with ufology, paranormal. God, there's so many we've done.
Some more on the way as well.
We've got more coming as well.
Tarot.
We've done tarot reading, yes,
Yeah.
we've done tarot.
We've got consciousness on the way. We've got alchemy on the way. Crikey, we've got so many, and we've covered so many different things.
And it was only meant to be a month-long thing, and we've ended up doing, was it, how many shows? We've got 9 or 10 shows we've done on the beginner's guide so far,
Yeah.
and we're still going.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was something that we thought of for Mika and the youngsters coming into the fringe community, because when we came into it, we realised that there was so much information, but it was so forward. There's nothing there for somebody just coming into the community or the newcomers, the youngsters. It's all very adult orientated. So we wanted to go back to the very beginning of some of the subjects and get, like I say, a beginner's guide for somebody that has no idea. And that's what we've done.
I think with the change of everything that's been going on since 2017, there's a lot more younger people now which engage in the phenomenon. So it's also nice for them to have kind of an easier kind of in than basically what others may have had when we first came to. Because I mean, you imagine being new to this whole phenomena. I mean, like, you know, I was cutting my teeth on people like you and Richard Dolan.
Yeah.
So to come in with sort of like your vast years of experience and kind of not really knowing a great deal, but having to kind of research it along the way as well, it kind of took, I see it as kind of taking out that kind of first initial steps of research. You kind of, you know, this is what. So yeah, I think like for us, I mean, that was the natural step to go, wasn't it?
And for the foreseeable future, I think that's where we're going to continue to go. We don't plan on anything else as yet. We're quite happy doing what we're doing. It's
You're doing
still
a good job.
project, and as we've been called, the first family of Fringe.
There you go. Wonderful. Let's go a little bit, sort of last couple questions here. Let's go to who can I help you get? Did you interview Linda? I just contacted her the other day.
Yeah,
You did, Linda?
Yeah, I did have a chat with Linda, Manchester.
Okay.
Hold her up by 20 minutes.
Yeah, you
Yes,
did.
you
You delayed
did.
Linda
And-
Melton out.
Yeah.
you delayed her.
Who else? Who else would you like to?
Richard.
You want to interview Richard Dolan?
But
Yeah.
that's already arranged. So
Yeah.
You've just got to arrange a
Yeah,
time
we've
for
got to finish
that.
that up.
Okay.
Who-
You want to do Clifford Stone? Let me see if I can
Yeah.
contact. I got Paula Harris. Do you know who Paula Harris is? She worked with J. Allen Hynek. She worked with a lot of whistleblowers.
Yeah.
And she promoted this little young girl, 9 years old. So I've talked to her. She should give you an interview. Who else would you like that I can help you out with?
Wow.
Clifford Mahuti,
Yeah.
because we're fascinated. I'm fascinated as well on sort of like the ancient, the Native American and UFO connection with the natural earth vortex and stuff like that. I'm very, very interested in that. Anyone else you can think of that you'd like to interview?
It's a bit hard.
I know you're kind of on the spot a bit here, aren't you? It's not normally you asking the questions, isn't it? Not the other way around.
It's difficult, isn't it, being the other side?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it at that then.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's
What do you
a
think
good
about
one.
that? You got my email address. You can contact me, and if you think you need to interview someone, I might know them. I might be able to help you out.
Yeah, thank
How's
you.
that?
And when you get going, I'll introduce you to Race Hobbs. Do you know who Race Hobbs is?
No?
You should
Race Hobbs runs KGRA Radio.
do.
He might give you a little guest spot on KGR. That's where Jimmy Church broadcasts on.
On now.
Yeah, that's Race Hobbs.
Oh.
Yeah, how'd you like that? If you practice up and get some interviews lined up, the thing is you got to stay at 55 minutes. You can't go over. You can't get long-winded. You got to have enough questions. That gets to be a lot of work. It's got to be exactly 55 minutes. You have your own radio show in America.
Wow.
So practice up on your interviews, and I'll do what I can to help you out. because I won't be here forever, and your parents won't be here forever. Somebody's got to take this over when the aliens finally land and tell us what's going on. We need someone like you who is an expert to deal with the situation, that they call in like an expert. You can be like the government alien guy that deals with them, because you know all the answers to everything.
The new Nick Pope.
Oh,
Nick-
yeah. Get out the way, the other Nick Pope. I'm the new Nick Pope in here.
Have you interviewed Nick Pope?
No,
Yeah.
you did on Fade to Black, didn't
Yes,
you?
I did.
Yeah,
You gave him a couple of questions, didn't you?
yeah.
Maybe
We tried to
one
get
or
Nick
two.
on with us a little while ago, but it was something to do with scheduling, and he couldn't give us like the amount of time that we needed for the show. So
I'll see him in January in California. I'll bug him. I'll say, man, you need to do an interview here. Sometime. I'll help you out wherever I can.
brilliant.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much.
And you're probably going to say to him, I don't care what you say. You're going on Fascination Street.
Fascination. Tell me about, last question. Tell me about your show and how is it gone? Fascination Street. That's what it's called?
Fascination
Yes.
Street with Jimmy, Mika, and Sarah.
There you go. And tell me a little bit about how it's going, how it started, some of the highlights. What's the best show? If somebody had to, because you got a lot of stuff on YouTube, if they had to watch one video, which one would you say, this is a cool one, you got to watch this one?
Which one's got the most? Which one's got the most views at the moment?
Yeah. which
Oh,
one?
yeah, my Grant Cameron and Richard Dolan one.
You know what? Another one I'll try to get you. I'll try to get you to get Richard Dolan's wife.
Yes.
Tracy.
Oh, Tracy's
Tracy.
awesome.
Tracy.
She's a good interview. She's completely different than Richard. She talks about different stuff. I did the first interview she ever did. I'll talk to her. I'll see her shortly. I'll say, okay, let's do that. And maybe I'll even get you with someone like Sid Goldberg, who's a producer at Gaia TV. Do you know what Gaia TV is?
Yeah, you
No,
know, Guy TV.
And Tracy's also really good for babysitting, as we found out at the after party.
Yes.
There you go.
Good babysitting, Tracy. Rating 10 out of 10.
Okay, anything you want to say before we shut down here, and anything you want to message
Thank
you want to
you
get
so
out
much.
to the world?
I appreciate letting us come on, and I love getting interviewed. Got to say.
Wow.
What do you got to say?
Makes a change to be on the other side,
It
doesn't it?
does. It's a very weird kind of
Yeah,
side.
it is very, very
So,
weird.
what do you got to say?
Well, it's been an amazing opportunity to actually be the other side of the camera
Yeah.
rather than doing the questions. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're Fascination Street, first family of Fringe.
Beautiful. I really appreciate your time. And as I said, and I mean this, whatever you need, if you need some help, you contact me and I'm here to help you. And let's get the word out to the world as to what's going on. This is an important story and people need to know what's going on. I'm really proud to have someone as young as you who has decided this is what you want to do, and you're really good at it. You're really confident, and I'll help you wherever I can.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you
thanks
very much,
for
Ron.
stopping by.
Bye.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you.
Okay.